Everybody that's joining us on YouTube.
Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Morning Startup.
Let's let the people in. And Scott, if you want to, you can. I think you might be able to claim it, but we'll see.
This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. All right. It's always this awkward little silence bit on the YouTube after I've watched them later. Wait for the meeting to start officially. Okay, cool. It looks like people are coming in. Good morning, everyone. Kate, Adam, Ali, good to see you. Vanessa. It is a morning startup pitch day. I just realized I am not sharing my screen. Let me go and do that. So we have 6 fresh new WA startups ready to do their 3-minute pitch. We are going to time it. We are going to be strict to the 3 minutes. And then we're going to have a Q&A feedback session afterwards. So please use the Zoom chat section to ask your questions, provide feedback to the people pitching. That would be amazing. But before we get into it, firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Scott Glue. I'm one of the organisers at Morning Startup. We also have
myself, Dave Newman. I'm also one of the organisers. I will not share my webcam this morning because I just haven't put my makeup on as yet. I haven't had 2 coffees, so I shall just hold back.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. And if you haven't heard of Morning Startup before, we run this every 2 weeks, rain, hail or shine, pandemic or not pandemic, on Zoom, not on Zoom. And we talk about startup related stuff. So usually we're at Riff down on St. George's Terrace. We have a startup related topic and a speaker and a networking session at the end. We also have an event called Founder Sundowner, which if you're not a morning person, you can come for a drink on the first Wednesday of every month down at Nowhere Man Brewery and talk to other startup folks. But the idea is just to get smart people doing startup related stuff under the same roof as often as possible and try and connect the community here in Perth and WA. So that's what we're all about. Let me go through this slide deck. Whoop, jumping ahead. The first thing we like to do is give everyone in the chat or at Riff when we're there an opportunity to introduce themselves and throw out a shameless plug or two. If you're looking for a co-founder or looking for someone to employ or someone to validate your idea, this is a good time to do that ask. So yeah, introduce yourself in the chat, say who you are, what you're working on. If you need any help, get that in there and connect with the other attendees. So while we'll wait for those to come through, I've got a couple of shameless plugs I'd like to make first. The first one is the Insight Awards. So I know I mentioned this in the last Morning Startup that the deadline had been extended, but it's been extended again to this Friday. So if you haven't heard of the Insight Awards, it's really WA's premier awards night for tech startups, innovation in WA. So it's a really good opportunity to get your product and your technology in front of an audience in WA and Australia and even the world, and really share what you're doing and win awards for it. I think, Lamborghinis or something are on offer. I don't know, but yeah, get your application in by the 29th of April. As I said before, we have another event called Founder Sundowner. Given this whole pandemic thing, looks like it's coming to an end. We are back on May 4th. So we're going to have the first Founder Sundowner back after being online next week. So come down to Nowhere Man Brewery and have a celebration and a chat, sort of lament the past few weeks that were share ideas. And the next Morning Startup, so as I said, we run this every 2 weeks. This will hopefully be back at Riff. So we've got Alexander Zidkov, who's spoken at Morning Startup once before, but he's going to be talking about how to grow a high performance team. So that's going to be really interesting, basically solving the people problem. You just don't want employees that are going through the motions, checking off their to-do list, not really feeling motivated. So he's going to be talking about a range of strategies that the top companies use to kind of avoid that. So that's going to be cool. So please come along and have a listen. All right, but shameless plug. So we got anything in the chat? You monitoring the chat, Mr. Dave?
I certainly am. There's a few. There's obviously, will there be a Star Wars theme on May the 4th?
Ooh,
Essentially.
good idea. Everyone has to come dressed as an Ewok. Yes.
There's a shout out there from Joe Woodfield. Hi everyone, I'm a brand marketing specialist and also developing an app called Brand
Generate.
Brand Generate. Okay, we've got there. It's a bit like number plates. You know, when you're driving down the freeway and you're like, for King, and then in the letter L. It's like, what's that mean? So we've got here Adam. Hi everyone, I'm Adam, co-founder of Immersia. Oh, hi Adam. I'm assuming you're on these shores, or you were last time I checked, you were in Germany. We're looking for a tech co-founder to join our board of directors. So if you're interested, check out Adam. Kasun, we're a software development shack at
IT
Domain. Yeah.
Okay.
We're also working on a cloud-based platform, and hopefully version 1 will be released this year. Brilliant.
Scantech.
I'll let you do that one.
Verification of identity as a managed service. We have API for integration should new products and existing companies wish to integrate into our end-to-end solutions. Cool. Go check out Scantech with a K. And Immersia develops life-saving technology. Cool. Anyway, I'll let you guys check out the chat. I think we'll be here forever reading out plugs. Awesome. Book a feast. The Airbnb of the events industry. Awesome. Okay. So Ammo Marketing. If you haven't heard of Ammo Marketing and you're in Perth, where have you been? They are an amazing growth marketing company here in Perth. But if there's one thing you do, go to ammo.marketing and subscribe to the Weird Growth podcast. So it's a podcast where Cam interviews innovation people in Perth. Really, really cool. So yeah, if you've got a dog and you go for a walk and you like listening to podcasts like I do, I really look forward to this one whenever they're dropped. So while you're there, also check out their growth marketing services if you need to hit the accelerator on your business. Davo, do you want to do Beecham? You there, Dave? No, he's on mute.
They say I wonder, I was on mute. It was like it's the saying of the pandemic. Sorry, you're on mute, but I wonder if that will continue. Beecham Group, if you haven't had a Beecham Group, then check out beechamgroup.com. Boutique recruitment specialists here in WA. Glenn and the team there have been massive advocates for many, many years now for morning startup. If you are looking for that new role, again, the Perth or WA job market at the moment is a little bit silly, and hopefully will come. But also, if you're looking for that new job or you are looking to recruit somebody, then by all means check out Glenn and the team at beechamgroup.com.
Absolutely. And these great supportive companies, Space Cubed, obviously been in startup world since, well, for 10 years now, running co-working spaces up and down St. George's Terrace. So if you need a place to work, head to Space Cubed and find the best one for you. They've got Riff, Flux and Fern. They also have a range of programs, including +8, which is an accelerator, and a bunch of other programs as well, where you can learn to be a better founder and get funding for your company and all of those things. Dave, you've been through +8. You've got some pretty positive experiences to share.
Yeah, some good companies coming out of +8. I think I think the model that they've now got is brilliant, and as much as they take on probably, I think, sort of 10 or 12 companies, you work through your ID, get some great mentoring from some great obviously mentors, but then at the end you have to, it's the survival of the fittest, so there's all the strongest. And they then take this through and you get funded. So it's a really good program now, I believe. If you haven't checked out Startup News, make sure you check out Startup News and subscribe to their weekly email. It comes out every Friday telling you what's happening in the WA startup scene. And if you haven't claimed your profile on TechBoard, visit techboard.com.au and go and claim your profile and get your news of what you're doing online.
Absolutely. And look, we should be back at Riff in the next 2 weeks, and there's a cool coffee shop across the road called Voltage. So if you're heading there, go and grab your coffee, tell them you're heading to Morning Startup. They'll give you a little discount on the coffee, and it's really good coffee too. So please go and support them, because I know they've had a pretty tough time over the last few months here in Perth in the city. All right. Next. And if you want to get in touch with us, we are Morning Startup on all of the things. One thing I'd like you to do is go to YouTube and hunt for Morning Startup and just subscribe. So these things are usually being streamed to YouTube, and if we have an event, we'll try and record it. So mostly on just a shitty little iPhone, but yeah, it's a good way to make sure you don't miss a session. Not all of them are put on YouTube, because sometimes we have a speaker that wants to speak a little bit more candidly. So it's always good to come to the events and get that insight, and also get the networking out of Morning Startup as well. But yeah, head to whatever social thing takes your fancy and go and follow us. Sweet. But that's, I think, it from us, right, Dave? We're going to hand over now to these cool startups that are wanting to practice their pitch, because it's important. You need to be able to communicate your startup as effectively as you can in the shortest time period as you can. Do that elevator pitch. So the startups that we have, you know what, I should have put a slide together who we've actually got presenting today. But just to run through them really quick, we've got Stuart Kidd from Familiar, whose startup is about preserving your family's digital memories for future generations to enjoy. We have, unfortunately, one of them isn't here today, so that was Diva Pay. But then we've got Chris from Expelio, who is, that's a social platform for creative skills and careers. Then we have Shaka, who is talking about donut waste, enabling WA's sustainable circular community. Then Sharon will take us through You Pitch Me, which is a video recruitment platform connecting young talent with ambitious companies. And Ross and Miguel is here as well from Adopt a Backpacker, which is connecting backpackers and travelers with local hosts. So that's the lineup that we've got for you today. And first of all, we have Stuart Kidd, who's going to take us through Familiar. So over to you, Stuart, if you want to go ahead and share your screen. I'll make sure I stop my share.
Okay,
Woo!
Here we go.
Oh, and I'll start the timer for 3 minutes, and we will clap you out when that 3 minutes comes, if you're still going.
Okay, great. Okay, so am I ready to go?
Go.
Okay, hi, I'm Stuart, and this is Familiar, and I'm the founder of it. Okay, so during the pandemic for the last couple of years, many people have sadly lost family members, and with those lost family members, of course, there's been those jokes that weren't passed down, those lovely photographic and video memories, and all those descendants now won't be able to see those beautiful faces of their relatives who've been lost. So what is Familiar? Familiar is a mobile app that protects and preserves your digital memories so that your future generations can see them as well. So the current problems we have is of course, memory loss. All the data, all of that hardware that you have, VHS, videos, DVDs, etc., they deteriorate, and then they won't be available to you in the future, as well as even software codecs. So there's also health hiccups as well, which is like to do with all your health data that won't be passed down for generations, and your grandparents won't be passed down to you. So there's, of course, there's family trees. That's also a problem. Family trees, no one's interested in family trees really, and there's only usually one person who does it, and then that information won't get passed around neither. And of course, lack of privacy in current setups where you're like Facebook, etc. Okay, so the solution is Familiar. All the memories are stored on our servers and passed down generation to generation through your descendants. So you never have to worry about losing anything ever again. And all that data will be stored. And then we'll also store health history. There's a fun approach to family trees, and privacy is paramount for us. So what can Familiar do for you? Well, you can ask people questions within the application. It's a mobile app for iPhone and Android. You can ask people questions. You can make time capsules. People can reply back in videos. So all of that data from your grandparents, your parents, your children can all be stored. It's not about storing every memory. It's about storing important memories. So some of the family features of, obviously there's the storage and the media and the questions and the answers and the family tree, fun approach. You can create family events. As I mentioned, you can ask questions, and the time capsule thing is just amazing. You can even set a time capsule for yourself so you can see it in another 10 years time. And all these things will be revealed at a later date, obviously. And there's end of life as well, just so that you can make those end of life planning points. So the business model is similar to Netflix. And actually, when we roll out, it will be completely free, but then we'll bring out a premium tier. And similarly to Netflix, one person will pay in the family, and they can share it with a number of other people in the family as well. So this market is actually worth $8 billion. And just to give you an idea, at the end of 2020, looking at the deck now, yeah, $4.7 billion was Ancestry was sold for. So we've gone quite far so far. We've developed the application. It's in its testing phase at the moment, but it's taken us a long time to get here. It's a pretty big application, but it's simple to use. And so the next point we're getting to is actually the app testing where we are now, the crowdfunding.
Sorry, Stuart.
That's it.
That's your 3 minutes.
Thank you. That went super quick, but that's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep, it always does. Awesome. Well done. Cool. So everyone, if you've got questions for Stuart, please use the chat. Not seeing anything in there at the moment, but so I guess from my point of view, how does this differentiate from things like Google Photos, iOS shared albums, things like that people might use to share photos and memories with family members at the moment?
So all of those albums, they're great, but they're not very interactive. This is an interactive space where you have a feed like TikTok, so you can ask each other questions, and then people can reply back in answers. So imagine you've got a streaming feed of TikTok, but it's all your family members. And you're not having, it's really the important memories. It's not just chuck all of your albums in there, because people aren't interested in seeing all the albums over the years. And I've got probably like about 50,000 photographs in my album. Nobody's interested in that. People are only interested in seeing the most important points of your life. Okay, awesome. And what about the problem of like vendor lock-in? Like if you've got such an important thing like your family's memories, is there an issue with people wanting to use a third party to store all of that and pay for that? Yeah, at the moment, there's no way people can export everything. So there's absolutely no way people can export all that data. It's all kept on these servers in this cloud-based position. Yeah. Okay. And what sort of validation have you done around the problem and people wanting it, people wanting to pay for it? Well, I have an app development company. I've had a number of people over the years who've come to us about things similar to this, who have wanted it. So that's some sort of validation. I have seen other attempts at trying to do this, but not doing this very well either. And I've seen people use a user base who there's the type of people who want to use something like this, but aren't interested in actually doing the family tree part. Okay, cool. We've got a couple of questions in the chat. Question is, what security mechanism do you have different from other platforms like Facebook? Asks Kasun. So when you post something, the whole ecosystem is only for the family members that you invite. So they have to be family members. And so you can decide when you post something who in your family you'd like to see that. You can post it to everyone in your family, or you can post it to specific people. Okay, great. And I think there's a bit of feedback here from Paul. We'd probably add a bit of a personal slant to the pitch, make it a bit of a story as to why I want this, and also the social feature to share images among family members. But yeah, great idea. Thank you, Paul. Awesome. And just my feedback, I guess the slide deck was really nice and presented probably a little bit too much information on the slide. Like there was a few slides with a lot of words. It's always my preference just to have a slide with an image or a word or something like that, and then talk about it rather than have to read as well as listen. Yeah, totally agree with you on that. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, Stuart. And please continue to ask Stuart in the chat any questions as we go along. He's going to monitor that chat and get back to you. One thing in the chat, please change the little hosts and panelists. There's a little two. It says hosts and panelists by default. If you want to chat with everyone, just change that to everyone. Cool. All right. So next we have Chris, who is going to take us through Expelio. Let me get my timer ready. Man, come on, Mr. Watch. All right.
Can you see my screen okay, Scott?
Yes, we can. Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning. Today you'll be learning about a problem that's even greater than the tech skills shortage, the shortage for creative talent. By 2030, there's going to be over 2.5 million creative skills shortages. There's only going to be around 100,000 coding and development, to put that into perspective. If you find the term creative too broad or fluffy, it's the skills that hold empathy for stakeholders like design and marketing. And without these skills, a lot of great technology wouldn't be usable and wouldn't be saleable, but you already knew that because every great entrepreneur does. Our aim is to empower humanity with creative skills that help solve the world's problems and bring them to market. Unfortunately, we have experience delivering our own creative education, connecting students to industry skills and businesses. And the feedback we've received is that it was like learning 4 years worth of knowledge in 4 weeks. And this was our alpha test. We tested our platform to generate over $16,000 in sales with these programs across more than 90 learners. What makes our education special is that we incorporate 4 key ingredients: education that's practical and based on experiences, peer-led, activity-based, and with tight feedback loops via mentoring. And we're helping professionals with the most current skills and experiences to utilize this framework. Welcome to Expelio's peer-to-peer creative career platform. Expelio allows creative professionals to transfer their knowledge and experiences in short, video-based experiential learning. Our platform is social for both mentors and creatives and aims to not only make education useful, but fun too. Where we are today, we've had 6,500 people sign up to learn more about Expelio. 15% of professionals we speak to want to mentor with Expelio. Just last week, we launched our mentor profiles in-app and are now onboarding 4 to 8 mentors a week. And we have 4 project-based courses on our platform created by our mentors. And just a side note, Masterclass launched with 3 and has now raised over 600 million. We currently operate on a freemium model and generate money through transactions through the mentoring, 15% clip there. And when we build up our library enough, we will be offering subscription pricing from $19 USD as well. The market for creative education is in excess of $10 billion. And our goal is to generate $7.5 million annually over the next 5 years by targeting the early career market. And we believe that it's possible to generate $300 million annually in this market by focusing on the full creative class spectrum from entry level to experienced professional. So right now, there are so many places to learn and get information online. However, there's nowhere to learn from the experiences of top professionals and get direct feedback on your work, which is what we focus on. Pandemic caused professionals to search for greater fulfillment and do things with purpose outside their day job. Expelio will give these professionals a home to be fulfilled by sharing their experiences with up-and-coming talent. So if any of that resonated with you, we're currently approaching the early stages of our seed round. We've got 50K secured already. We'd love to have conversations with people that want to get involved, and we're looking to be able to use that money to grow our team. We've got 5 key roles we want to bring on, and also spend a lot more time on our education community. Thank you.
Minutes. Fantastic. Nearly got there, right? We're nearly at the end.
Yeah.
All right. So please ask your questions in the chat. So Chris, how are you getting customers at the moment? What's the process? Like, or how do you find your mentors, and then how do you find the other side of that market of people wanting to learn?
Yeah, so our mentors, it's been a lot of direct, so we're being quite selective about who we're bringing onto the platform. So actually reaching out to mentors, and that's where that number of 15% comes from. So essentially, 1 in 7 people that we reach out to agrees and wants to come on board and wants to be a part of it and wants to be able to create educational content with us. Right,
and how do you find them? Is it just?
Yeah, it's the kind of typical sort of recruiting methods. So LinkedIn and those sorts of tools are very useful for that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so what's the biggest challenge for you at this point in time? Is that not a challenge at finding people and actually populating the app with enough content, or is it?
Yeah, so it's a marketplace platform. So obviously the biggest challenge that comes with that is typically the chicken and egg type thing. So we're very much focusing on the supply side of things at the moment. So building up the mentors to then be able to create demand for the other side of the marketplace as well. So obviously we've proven that there's a lot of interest in the sort of education that will be on the platform up until now. But yeah, it's kind of getting to that mass tipping point where there's enough content and mentors on the platform to make it really desirable. And using that's where we're looking to use the seed money to be able to partner with a bunch of really credible people to be able to kind of get that mass media appeal.
Right. Awesome. And sorry, where did you say you're at the moment? How many mentors and people have you got using the platform right now?
So we've released it to only part of our audience. So we've got like a beta testing phase going on. So we've got around 300 creatives on the platform, and mentors. We've literally just opened up that side of the platform last week. So we've got about 20 mentors on the platform.
Awesome. And are you going after specific verticals like,
Yeah, marketing and design are the two that we're focused on. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions in the chat? No. Everyone's pretty happy with your pitch. Valid points. No, that's all good. We've got claps, all sorts of things. Yeah, nice work. Again, please continue to ask questions in the chat. If you've got anything else for Chris, any feedback on the presentation, go right ahead. You can also change it to just Chris if you want to have a private chat with Chris in the Zoom chat. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Well done. Woo. Okay, next we have Shaka from Donut Waste. So when you're ready, Shaka, go ahead and share your screen. And I'll get Mr. Clock ready. All right. We can't hear you, I don't think, Shaka.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Perfect. All right. When you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sharka, like a shark, the fish. And last year, in the midst of pandemic, in 2021, I started a social enterprise called Donut Waste. Donut Waste exists to help the human race minimize the effects of climate change on our planet by creating circular solutions for products and materials that would otherwise end up in landfill. One of the first materials we chosen to pick is coffee grounds. You'll see right in the middle. We also collect beer clips and Hessian bags. Now, how does that work with the coffee grounds? Why would you first save them? Because there is about 75,000 tons of them going to landfill across Australia. Some of the Mary Street bakeries would produce 120-liter bin of coffee grounds a day. And as we all know, that contributes to climate change by creating methane, so very bad for our landfills. How does that work? When cafes sign up, I'll give them this 120-liter bin you see on the screen. I take my van called Coffee Van Dam, pick them up and take them to the nearest community garden for composting to create beautiful, rich compost. With clips, why do we save them? Well, we save them because they can be reused over 50 times. A majority of them actually end up in landfill, and they cannot be recycled through curbside bins. So how does that work? Well, we give a free bin to Bottle Shop or any other place, like recycling place. And again, I'll come with my Coffee Van Dam, pick them up, and then we de-stick them, wash them, pack them back to the original boxes. And on the right side, you see we sell them back to breweries, and they use them again and again, again. This is the impact we've had so far. We've saved 11,000 clips from only last year in December when we started. We've saved 11.7 tons of coffee grounds, and we also started collecting Hessian bags only just recently, so 214 bags, that's a start. And we're trying to find a circular solution for them, so talking to some of the councils. This is just a little teaser for you. This is coming out on Friday. We also saved some donuts finally from landfill with Oz Harvest. So there will be a beer coming out on Friday. I'm meeting the minister tomorrow. We also do education and DIY workshops. I do obviously coffee scraps workshop from the spent coffee grounds and educate the market about sustainability. If anyone would like to get on board or is interested in what we do, I'd love to have anyone to help me with expertise, such as engineering, commercialization. I also would appreciate any mentoring or coaching. And if anyone would like to book me for sustainable consultancy for your small or medium business, I'm here for you. Thank you very much for your time, and that's it.
Woo! Nice work. Well under time. 20 seconds to spare. Good job.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nice work. Wow. Okay. So again, ask the questions in the chat, please. From my perspective, I love the brand, I got to say. Donut Waste. It's really cool. I mean, I just crave donuts right now.
Everyone wants donuts.
But yeah, I think that's really important too, having a really identifiable, unique brand, especially because I think establishing yourself as a circular economy leader is going to require that, and go, go to Donut Waste. They're going to help you out with that sort of thing. So that's great. Now, are you a for-profit or not-for-profit?
No, so we are actually a social enterprise, but we are a company because we believe that circular economy has to be viable, and we're not going to save the world if we all non-for-profits and charities. So
right,
we're trying to figure out solutions that are actually viable. So hence the beer clips can be sold and we can make money.
Yep. Okay. And it seems like a really time-intensive thing. You know, you've got your van, you go and pick up all the stuff and deliver it, and you've also got your workshops. Is it just you, or is there a team of people?
Yes, when I say we, that's me and my van.
Okay.
Pretty much it. My partner helps me with some of the MacGyver things, like installing a winch in my van, but it is just me at this point. So yes, you're right. It takes up a lot of time to drive around, especially with the coffee grounds. So that's something we have to streamline very shortly.
Okay. So what's the plan there around scaling this?
So I'm currently focusing on the beer clips because they have the biggest value. I'm meeting with Coles next week. They are very interested in getting on board, pretty much flying over from over east. I also have Endeavour on board already with 6 bottle shops, 3 BWSs and 3 Dan Murphys. So they also really keen to expand the program. So the scaling is the difficult part. I've been trying to make something out of coffee grounds. I also have a Curtin University waste researchers looking into a base of the spent coffee grounds and see what we can do with it. So there's a lot of projects you have on board, but it is a lot of time to kind of figure out and put myself into supply chain in all of those.
Yeah, 100%. And what are the general, can you give me a feel of the costs? Like, you got to supply a bin to the bottle shops. Do they pay for the bin?
Bottle shops don't pay because that's when it comes to waste. That's what's really the challenge. So the bottle shops don't pay because the material I collect has value. So the clips you're looking at, they pretty much cost 35 cents to purchase. They are from America. That's the only company, PackTech, that dominates the market, and we sell them back to breweries for 26 cents. With the coffee grounds, because the coffee grounds don't have the value at the end, and we give them for free, so no one wants to pay for it, then I have to charge the cafe. So they pay $25 per pickup, depending, again, it depends on how many pickups they need, how many bins they need, and so forth.
Right, okay. And are you profitable at the moment?
We are kind of getting there, but that's why I'm doing the workshops as well, because I have a background in waste education and council, so I do offer some sustainability and coffee scrub workshops that actually one of the most profitable things we do. But with the beer clips, we suspect with the volume, we should be getting profitable.
Excellent.
Our biggest problem, that's talking about the commercialization, is taking the stickers off and the cleaning, because the residue of the glue, it's really difficult to take off. So scaling that process, that's the really important part, especially if Endeavour and Coles come on board.
How do you do that currently?
Manually, I have removed 11,000 stickers from Picklet.
Wow.
Now we have found some solutions as well. We have done a lot of tests. We have now tested ultrasonic, whatever that is, ultrasonic little machine that helps remove it. But we're looking into purchasing a bigger one. So I've applied for a few grants.
Wow, that's amazing. Things founders have to do to get their stuff off the ground. Wow. Okay. Well, that's great. I mean, it's an awesome story. It's looks like a challenge to get it all going, get everything in place, but you've definitely made inroads into it. I know I've got a stack of beer clips in my garage at the moment. I'm going to talk to my local bottle shop about getting one of your bins. We have 28 locations,
so have a look. There might be one near you, but if it's not, definitely talk to your bottle shops. They get a free bin and free promotion, so it's a win-win.
That's right. I'm a craft beer wanker, so I've got one of these bottle shops that I go to specifically. I'm going to get them to do it.
Well, you've got to get my donut here when it comes out on Friday.
Amazing. Well done, Shaka, and best of luck and great success moving forward. I hope it goes well. All right. Any questions in the chat? If not, please shoot them over to Shaka. All right. And next we have Sharon from You Pitch Me. So
yes,
go ahead and share your screen. And, that's if you've got a pitch deck, of course. Yes, you do. All right. And when you're ready, I will start the clock. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sharon, and I'm the co-founder of You Pitch Me. You Pitch Me is a video recruitment platform for students and graduates looking for internships, project-based work, or entry-level jobs. So we, oh, that was one too much. Yeah, we interviewed young talent and really asked them about the obstacles they face when they currently apply for work. And it was really clear to us that young talent struggles with CVs, and that's due to missing relevant industry experience. They can't demonstrate their passion and also not their employability skills. And then they're also unsure if employers actually match their values. We also chatted with founders and like you and me, and founders obviously struggle to recruit due to limited resources, time, and money. It is very hard to attract talent. Yes, skill shortage, hello. But we also don't know how to access universities. And lots of founders, unfortunately, use unstructured interview processes, which then in the end lead to bias. So they hire a candidate, which then fails the company job and boss fit. And research actually shows that CVs have a very low predictive validity. So instead, we should actually ask for work samples, use structured interview processes, and use self-assessments. So that's exactly what You Pitch Me does. So our solution, You Pitch Me, is when an employer basically lists a job ad and they pitch to the candidates. And by pitching, I say they record a very short video, 2 minutes, where they can show their lived values, their mission, and really why the applicant should work for them. They then can set up to 3 tailored interview questions, which can include work samples or even sales pitches. And when a candidate would like to apply for the job, they will answer those 3 questions via video recording as well. And that's their time to shine. They can really show their passion and why they would like to work. And they can also upload the work samples in this process. We then curate a shortlist of the candidates and provide it to the employer in their dashboard. So we're currently running a pilot phase with local startups and SMEs, and are working together with Curtin University. And I would like to offer to the Morningstarter community to list a job for free. And if you're interested, please get in touch with me.
Woo! Awesome. Well done. And 1 second to spare. Good job. Right in there. Excellent. So everyone, please scan the QR code. Does that take you to a coupon for Morning Startup for listing a job or something?
Next time.
Great. No worries. Okay, cool. So let me just get this straight. You've got, it's a video platform where I can record a video for my company looking for anyone. Is it specifically going after young people, or is it like developers? Are you going after a particular vertical?
No, so it's specifically for young talent at the moment. So really, students who are currently studying or graduates who graduated within the last 3 years. So we are speaking about entry-level jobs.
Okay. All right. Can you give me an idea? So we're not looking for developers and things like that. Is it something McDonald's might use for entry-level jobs there?
As well. To be honest, it's really interesting because, so for example, our friend and also known in the startup system, Benjamin from Anti-Beauty, he's using it. Then also Amo was testing it for reaching out to their growth marketing students who are doing internships with them, but also the local barber, so the local barber can also ask, okay, how do you actually cut curly hair? And the applicants, they can record themselves whilst cutting the hair. So it's really applicable to not only tech startups, but also SMEs.
Great. Have you found any barriers to the video side of things? Like, are everyone pretty happy to be recording videos, or is there?
So look, I mean, we're again, young people in the time of TikTok reels. Yeah. Everyone is used to video, so that's the reason this HR process, the traditional one, needs to be disrupted, because no one likes to to write cover letters or even CVs. So everyone really is craving for a new solution.
Awesome. So what do you see as the biggest risk to this business? Like, what's the main reason it could fail?
Well, obviously there is always risk involved with actually talent coming on board. And with the skill shortage, yes, but borders are opening up. Everyone is very interested. International students are coming in. They are looking for jobs. So that is something. And obviously also competitors. But yes, I'm very passionate and I want to rock that. So definitely.
Cool. And I take it it's the company that pays. The students aren't, or the people applying for the jobs.
Correct.
They're not your customers?
Correct. Okay. So the employer, they will pay a fee. We are at the moment really testing in our pilot phase and trying to figure out what the market would like. So if it's more like a subscription fee, or is it like a posting fee? So that's a part of our pilot phase, what we are at the moment figuring out and what's best fitted.
Great. Have you had any initial feedback?
Yeah, different ones. So we are really amazed by the feedback, but it's really good feedback so far.
Awesome. Great. Okay, well, that's I think it for me. That was a good pitch, obviously on time, and got all the key elements across. I think so. As an ask to the audience, I guess if you've got a job, if you've got something that you need to advertise, head to You Pitch Me and give it a go.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much, Sharon. Woo! And that takes us to the last one of the day. So we have Ross from Adopt a Backpacker. All right, so if you want to go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, I'll share now.
Okay.
See that?
Yes, yes, we can.
Oh, right.
Got a refresh. Yep, all right. So it's 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Did you know that 45 million people go backpacking every year? 80% of them are women traveling solo. Backpackers spend more annually than regular travelers. And the most popular reason to go backpacking is to experience new cultures. Hello, my name's Ross Gehring. I'm the CTO of Adopt a Backpacker, and I'm a veteran backpacker from way back in the 90s. At Adopt a Backpacker, we're on a mission to deliver the most authentic and safe experiences for travelers globally. We're headquartered in sunny Perth with multilingual and multicultural team members in Melbourne, Queensland, Singapore, and India. The founders are all passionate backpackers and frequent travelers. Here's the problem. We live in a divided, polarized world where trust is in short supply. We're told that we're safer staying at home, that foreigners are out to get us. We hide behind our smartphones, even when overseas. We're forgetting the art of human connection. We're calling BS on all the above. We're building a secure, safe, modern platform to actively facilitate real in-person connections between strangers, and especially between backpackers and local host families and job providers, etc. We're using AI to verify the ID of all our members. And the real kicker, the accommodation offered on our platform is free. It's early days, but things are going ahead of expectations. We have a pre-revenue valuation of $5 million. We have 40,000 Facebook followers. We've been featured on the Lonely Planet website. We've gained 2,500 subscribers since we soft launched our website 3 months ago. So this is without any formal marketing. Revenue is coming from low subscription fees to encourage mass participation. And we're exploring an array of partnership, advertising, and commission opportunities. On a personal note, I can testify to the fact that some of my best, most memorable backpacking experiences were when I was taken in by kind local families who didn't charge me for the privilege. It doesn't get more authentic than this. So I cannot imagine any backpacker not wanting to pay a small subscription fee for the opportunity to experience this. We have competitors, but none are direct on all counts. For example, Couchsurfing, Workaway, Hostel World, and HelpX. We'll work hard to be the dominant force in backpacking services within 2 to 3 years. Friends and family have chipped in 130K in pre-seed funding in just the last couple of weeks. And right now we're preparing to raise at least $500,000 in seed investment. This will pay for more rapid enhancements on the website, the development of the mobile app, and the engagement of more specialist team members and service providers. I'd like to close with one of my favorite travel quotes, which is, life is like a book. If you've never traveled, you've only read the first page. Thank you.
Woo.
You
Work.
amazing.
And 1 second to spare. Good job. Right on time. Excellent. Okay. So feedback, please check it in the chat. And so you said you've got a 5 mil valuation right now. How did you come to that?
I'll let my colleague and founder Miguel answer the questions if that's okay.
Yes, correct. We did approach a company in Sydney to do the pre-valuation, basing on our pre-subscribers, our current revenue, the technologies that we're using, the structure of the team, and also the potential market that we are tapping on. Yep.
Excellent. Okay, cool. And do you have, like, is it more active in specific cities, or have you gone after all cities in the world or all places in the world at once?
So at the moment, we're focusing on Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
Currently, the uptake in Australia and New Zealand is around 2,000 people. But it's just popping all over the world. Like, we are on 30 countries already. People are making profiles without any marketing at all. So this is we're gonna start our massive marketing campaign next week.
Wow. And what does that involve? What's the
that involves like everything from influencers, Google SEOs, Facebook ads, EDMs, and just everything, news articles, and the whole shebang.
Right. Okay. And so adopting a backpacker, it's a bit like the Airbnb problem that they had early on, like we're going to stay in a stranger's place. And how are you dealing with all that kind of weirdness of people, like, do they trust the host, the trust element between a host and a backpacker?
Correct. First of all, we solved the problem by offering a ID verification. 80% of the active users now are verifying their ID because they want to create a social profile. We have implemented a very strong reviews section that your profile, each and every user can leave a review, which you cannot delete. You can dispute the review, you can report it, and we'll investigate the fairness and the quality of the review, and we remove it if we find that it's an unfair review. If it's a true review, then it stays there.
Okay. All right. So it's in the backpacker's best interest to be a good backpacker. And the host's best interest to provide a good place.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. Awesome. No, it sounds really good. And it sounds like have you had any feedback from the initial backpackers on their experiences using your platform and actually staying somewhere? Is it like what are the biggest challenges that they're having?
Yes, the biggest challenges that they're having is like the first meeting. So that's why we offer like a state-of-the-art instant messaging where they could share photos and video call each other. So we highlighted in our FAQs that give them a guide on the questions that they should be asking each other before actually meeting. So they have to engage in this step-by-step guided conversation that we provide to ask more details about the host, about the backpackers. Yes.
Right. Yep. Okay. And you said that there were some alternatives out there. So if I'm a backpacker and I want to stay somewhere, there's obviously ways to find hosts and things at the moment. How are you really sort of differentiating yourselves against those other alternatives?
Okay, so we approach it as a type of social media like Facebook. So we have a real-time map view where you could go to the map view and you could see all the pins of the locations of the hosts and the backpackers. So if you're traveling in Sydney, you go to our map view, you can find like hundreds of hosts there. So those are hundreds of free accommodations in Sydney. Same in Melbourne, same in Perth.
The alternatives don't have a map view?
They do. We have a you can switch into a list view as well, which other companies has. But our approach is that we added the community wall that acts like a Facebook wall where people could post, like a Facebook, people could comment, people could tag each other, and people could share this posts and everything.
Right. Okay. So it's really around sort of the UX and the experience of using your platform.
Correct.
Is superior than the alternatives out there at the moment.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned AI to do the verification. Can you drill down on that a little bit?
Correct. We are currently with a company in the US called ID Merit. But as you can see, there's a upcoming company in Perth called Scantech. So we're going to explore our options with a local company. Why not?
Absolutely. I like it. Do it. Fantastic. Okay, well, that's it from me. Hopefully you're getting some questions in the chat. Oh, hang on, we've got some, what sort of AI? Oh, sorry, Daryl, I just popped your question there. What sort of AI verification is done? All right, nice. I'm saying, yep, Scantech says, love to work together. So let's do it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Ross and Miguel. Well done. And well done to all of our pitches. That was fantastic. I'm really actually blown away by the quality of pitches that we've had today. There's functional things out there in the world that you can go and try right now. These aren't just vaporware ideas. It's real people having a real shot at developing a real company, and I love it. So thank you so much for everyone that presented. I know it's not easy getting up at 7 in the morning and trying to be switched on for this, but yeah, hopefully you all got something out of that with my amateur feedback. So yeah, please, if you've got any more questions, ask them in the chat. Other than that, does anyone else online or the panelists at the moment, do you have any questions for anyone else? Or do you have questions for me? Nope, nothing.
I do.
Cool. Oh yeah.
Yes. So Meetup can, for example, if I want to connect with other founders and other tech startup individuals, so do you have an office that I could go to, or a place?
Morning startup office?
No. Okay. So there's actually a morning startup office.
No, there's not. No. If you want to connect with other founders and people doing cool, interesting things, Space Cubed is really the best place to go. As I say, they've been Startup Central for the last 10 years, and you get a real vibe, a real buzz when you're working there. I'm sure you've been to Space Cubed before and the events. So yeah, go to their events. I know it's been a bit hard over the last few months, but that really is the best place to go. If you want to learn how to be a better entrepreneur, then they've got the +8 programs and things. That's really cool. But yeah, as far as a place, if you want to go and work and then be around good people and ask questions, Riff, Flux, Fern, that would be my advice. That's the closest you're going to get to a morning startup headquarters. Otherwise, feel free to shoot us emails at contact@morningstartup. Dave and I have been doing this, well, I've been doing it for 10 years minus a 3.5 gap when I was in the US. But yeah, we know a few people and can help connect you in the right way if we can. So connect with us, yeah, contact@morningstartup.com.
All right.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you very much for your attendance. I think as it's now 8:30, we can let you all get back on with your day. Hope you've all got lots to do and got some good feedback out of this today. Just going through the chat, seeing if there's any last minute chats coming through. Daryl says, I'm a VC scout with Level Up Ventures, and part of our thesis involves future of work. Awesome. Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, reach out to Daryl. So, so if anyone in the chat wants to connect with the founders that are presented today, the easiest way to go is to email us at contact@morningstartup.com. Are you all okay with me sharing details? Yep, getting a lot of nods. Yep. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, if you want to connect with anyone, hit us up and we'll do our best. But thank you very much. Thanks everyone for pitching today. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Riff for the next morning startup, or next week at Nowhere Man Brewery from 5:30 p.m. Wednesday. See you there.
See you.
See ya.
Ciao, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.